Well, Canada is adopting a new framework for eliminating fossil fuel subsidies. Environment Minister Guilbeault says that the new rules mean only oil and gas projects that decarbonize the sector will win federal support. But not everyone is on board with them. Guilbeault was interrupted by protesters at the event.
The global marketplace is moving to net zero, and we will help businesses seize the many opportunities that come with this move. We're supporting the creation, I'll just finish if you don't mind, I'll just finish. We're supporting the creation of a secure middle-class jobs for coast to coast while protecting the environment. You should be happy with this announcement. This is something you've called for many years, the elimination of fossil fuel subsidies in Canada.
The CBC's Kyle Bax tracking this story for us from our Toronto newsroom. Kyle, how will exactly this framework function?
Well, there won't be any sort of instant change. This is very much a work in progress, even billed not just as a framework, but a proposed framework. So Ottawa plans to take this framework and apply it to 129 different tax and non-tax measures to see which of these supports will stay and which will go. Ottawa did not provide any sort of dollar figure, so it's unclear whether we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars or billions or even more. And experts who are connected with the industry say those details are pretty important to understand. Take a listen.
We need to make sure that if governments change, if priorities change, the policies stay essentially consistent, because companies are betting billions and billions of dollars on this over the next decades to allow them to reduce their greenhouse gas intensity, and they need to have enough clarity to reduce the risk of that.
And this is part of a G20 announcement that was made more than a decade ago. The federal government saying it'll take this proposed framework, it'll share it with its G20 peers for review, and that could take most of the next year.
Difference do you think this could make for the oil patch?
It's really hard to say because, some government agencies have already been pulling back on their support for the oil patch. And this framework also comes with a lot of caveats. So for instance, Ottawa still plans to provide the oil patch with quite a bit of money in terms of reducing emissions, promoting clean energy, and in particular, providing money for carbon capture and storage projects. That alone could be tens of billions of dollars over the next few decades. And there's also, of course, Ottawa is providing a lot of loan guarantees and other supports for the Trans Mountain expansion pipeline, which the federal government purchased several years ago. So you can still see that the federal government is going to be providing supports to the oil patch for many years to come.
Thank you, Kyle. The CBC's Kyle Bax in our newsroom.